10 to 12 years for a dog that breathes 20 to 30 times per minute. People breathe 12 to 20 times a minute and live 80 to 100 years. But tortoises only breathe 3 to 5 times a minute and live 500 to 600 years. This shows that the fewer breaths an organism has, the longer it can live. Because of this, ancient people began studying how to slow down and deepen breathing, because they knew that people only get a certain number of breaths and not years and months to live. They also knew that slowing down and deepening breathing could extend life, but it should happen naturally. When we breathe, we only directly feel the air in our throat and heart. We don't even know what air went into our lungs or how it was divided into different types. When we work in the field, the air that came out of our lungs is also different. All of this happens so quickly that we aren't even aware of it. We only know that oxygen went in and carbon dioxide came out. But what's going on inside? Do you know that? Some amazing things happen in our bodies when we take those deep, relaxing breaths. It's like a symphony of well-being. Deep breaths help our immune system get ready to fight germs, though there isn't a direct link between the two. Taking deep breaths is like having a friend who looks out for our bones and keeps things in check. When our bodies get rid of waste oxygen, our brains take notice, and all of a sudden, we're more alert and can remember things better. That rush of oxygen wakes up those neurons and gets the gears of thought and understanding moving again in the lungs. It's like a switch being turned on in our brains. Fresh air makes you feel better. For example, when there's a strong gust of wind in the forest, everything wakes up and becomes awake. It's like a strong gust of wind when Carl's body hits you, or when you do Basta breathing. Few people can really make a storm inside themselves. It takes a lot of work, but once it starts, it changes everyone's life. A lot of the people are breathing slowly and short. People don't even realize how they're breathing when they are angry. When feelings come up, the breath changes. When lustful feelings come up, the breath changes. Our breathing changes with our thoughts and feelings. It also changes because of what we eat and how we live. The science of yoga is based on breathing correctly. If we can just learn to breathe correctly, our lives will change like magic today. We will learn in detail from an old yoga story how to breathe right and the magical secret of breathing. A long time ago, there was a Buddhist monk who lived in an ashram and taught yoga, meditation, and pranayama to his students. The monk had spent many years meditating in a cave in the Himalayas, where he had gained a deep understanding of many subtle aspects of human nature. Now, he is using this experience to teach the masses through his disciples. One day, after dinner, the smartest and most intelligent disciple of the ashram came up to him. The monk could tell by looking at the disciple that he was thinking about something. The disciple politely said, "Dear monk, I want to ask you some questions." The monk smiled and said, "Okay, discipline. What do you have to say?" You often say that the root of yoga meditation and pranayama is our breath. As soon as we get control over our breath, we get control over our minds and thoughts. So today I want to learn in detail about the secret of breath and its true science. Hearing that the monk gave a light smile and then started saying, "As is our mood, so is the speed of our breaths, or as is our breathing, so will our mood. Everything that happens within us is connected to our breaths, as well as what happens outside us. Every event that happens in our lives has a deep connection with our breaths, which means we can control the speed of our breaths. You can control your mind and thoughts by doing this. If you carefully observe a true yogi or a seeker, you will see an amazing calmness. On his face, a true yogi can keep himself self-stable and calm. Even in the worst situations, yogi doesn't hold back his feelings, but he does learn to control his breathing. When he can control his breathing, he can control his thoughts, and that person has the answer to all of his issues. Showing the student the way, monk said, "You may have heard of yogis who are said to live for 150, 200, or even 300 years. How do they do it? By controlling their breathing, which is also known as harnessing prana energy. Prana energy is all around us in what quantity it has to be taken and released. A yogi knows very well, and he has mastered this work to a great extent. You can use the energy as per your need and can make yourself long-lived if you want to keep your body healthy, have more capacity than normal, and want sharp intelligence. Then you have to understand your breath has to be controlled, and once you control them, everything will be arranged in your life. There is no such thing as fear, worry, and trouble. It is just a product of our minds and emotions. The only thing we can control is the emotion in our mind, and that is our breath, the anger inside us, anxiety, jealousy, ego feelings of revenge. All these works according to our breath. If we have control over our breath, then all these disorders become under our control. Breath works as a bridge between our body and our mind. If we want to reach our mind and understand its disorders and remove them, then we will have to walk on the bridge of our breath. We will have to reach our minds through our breath, and this is the only way. What you may have noticed about children while they sleep is that when they breathe in, their stomach expands, and when they breathe out, it deflates. This is called evil breathing, and it is the most natural and correct way for a child to breathe. Because they take deep, long breaths, their minds stay alert and light, and their bodies work more naturally. For example, when a child is thinking about something, he doesn't hold on to it for long, and if he gets hit or scolded for a mistake, he forgets about it and gets caught up in a game. This is why children seem so simple. They naturally breathe from their navel area. Because a child's body is growing quickly and needs more energy, longer breaths are needed. To meet this energy demand, nature gave them the gift of extended breath. However, it's important to note that this longer breath is necessary for all humans. It's a natural gift. However, over time, people have changed their natural breathing patterns. Many now breathe from their chests instead of their diaphragms. When we breathe less, we become more easily distracted by worries and small things. Longer, deeper breaths make you happier and more at peace with yourself, the monk said, adding that the average person breathes 12 to 20 times per minute. It's important to know that our breathing is closely linked to our mental and physical health. When the number of breaths per minute drops below 11, we become more aware of the many subtle things going on around us. By controlling our breath, we can become very sensitive to the sounds and feelings of animals. Some yogis are said to be able to change even the most dangerous animals, like lions and tigers, into doe animals. This is thought to happen because these yogis have mastered breath control and can connect deeply with the sounds, emotions, and energies of animals. When our breath rate slows down to about 9 breaths per minute, we can understand what trees and plants are doing. By taking less than 6 breaths per minute, we can understand how lifeless things work, the energy they send out, and how they are linked to the rest of the world. In other words, we can tune into the very core of the universe. Yogis and teachers who reach this state are said to be able to open the mysteries of the world and see what will happen in it. Maintaining a steady level of stability throughout the body while avoiding rapid breathing can lead to heightened awareness. According to the teachings of yoga, controlling breath gives a seeker the power to do extraordinary feats that go beyond what a normal person can do. People believe that if they can master holding their breath for long periods of time, they can access new areas of human existence. Some diseases that are life-threatening but have no known cure may also get better. By controlling their mind and brain through breath control, a person can reach a state of mind where the ups and downs of life won't affect them. When a yogi has control over his breath, he can stop breathing whenever he wants. The monk also said that when the breath is disturbed, the mind becomes unstable, but when the breath is calm, the mind becomes stable, and the yogi lives a long life. Because of this, we should learn to control our health. Have you ever thought about how long your breath is when you breathe in and out normally? When we breathe in, our lungs expand to about 10 fingers, and when we breathe out, they expand to about 12 fingers. This makes a difference of 1 finger in thickness throughout our daily lives. There are times when oxygen intake is much longer than oxygen loss, like when we eat, can reach 16 to 17 fingers, 22 to 24 fingers when walking quickly, 45 to 50 fingers when running, and 50 to 60 fingers when in a romantic relationship. Even when you're asleep, your exhale can reach up to 70 fingers. In the Bible, it says to control your lust and anger because they can drain your life force. When a 200-year-old man was asked what kept him alive, he said it was 2 simple things: taking full breaths down to the navel and standing up straight. These 2 simple things hold a lot of meaning in the realms of yoga and pranayama. As sexual desire decreases, the seeker experiences changes. Reducing it by 2 fingers leads to pleasure. Reducing it by 3 fingers improves writing skills, and reducing it by 4 fingers can improve speech. Getting rid of 5 fingers can make someone farsighted. Getting rid of 6 to 7 fingers gives the seeker the power of rapid movement, which lets them get to faraway places in seconds. But these dormant powers only awaken when there is a desire and a mental path to awaken them. The breath is the physical manifestation of this mental path, so controlling your breath is the first step on this journey. The Buddhist monk ended his lessons with these words, and the student began a deep journey of self-discovery. Inspired by the wisdom of breath control, it's a path full of ancient secrets and life-changing possibilities.